The people unite.
Hey, everybody, welcome. Welcome, welcome. We the people unite. Happy Wednesday.
Thank you, Kim.
Who do we have with us today? We have Keisha, Maureen, Andrea, August. Katie's back. And who do we have in the chat? If you're out there, say hello. You know how much we love to talk to you. We have a full schedule today. And the first thing that I am actually optimistic about is I think we have another or maybe a stronger Democratic leader emerging. And so I don't know if anyone, well, I'm sure you've heard about the video. We talked about it last week, right? With the Democratic leadership who are either veterans of the military or the intelligence agencies. They did the video telling or relating to the military in general that they are to not follow illegal orders. So we saw that video. And of course, Mark Kelly, Senator Kelly, was the first one that was targeted by the Pentagon for that video. So he's been making the rounds on the media. If you haven't watched the video, the interviews out there, suggest watching them. He's excellent communicator, and I consider him a positive, emerging, strong leader in the Democratic Party. Happy to see it. So I want to play a little bit of this video. And it was a press briefing he held. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. But let's just hear some of the things he has to say.
The president has gone too far. Everybody needs to wake up. The occupant of the Oval Office is ignorant to the Constitution and has no regard for the rule of law. Trying to silence me, in proposing to court-martial me, in threatening to kill me for fighting back when our democracy demands that we must fight back. President Trump has crossed a line. And this time, it's not going to work. I will not be intimidated by this president. I am not going to be silenced by this president or the people around him, because I've given too much in service to this country to back down to this guy. In 1991, when Donald Trump was driving the Taj Mahal casino into bankruptcy, I was getting shot at over Iraq and Kuwait. In 2001, after Donald Trump said that the collapse of the Twin Towers meant he now owned the tallest skyscraper in Manhattan, I was carrying flags honoring 9/11 victims into space on a rocket ship. In 2003, when Donald Trump was writing birthday greetings to the monster Jeffrey Epstein, I was the first on the scene to recover the bodies of my fellow astronauts who died when Space Shuttle Columbia exploded during re-entry. In 2011, when Trump was hosting a reality show and peddling conspiracy theories against President Barack Obama, I was sitting next to my wife's hospital bed as she recovered from a gunshot wound to the head. My point is this: I've been through a lot worse in service to my country. The president and Pete Hegseth are not going to silence me. They aren't going to keep me from speaking out, and they're not going to keep me from doing my job. Enough of the bullying, enough of the intimidation, enough of the threats, enough of your nonsense. Doesn't help anyone in our country afford their groceries or pay their medical bills. And it erodes the rights of every American. My job is to fight for them, to stand up for the Constitution, and nothing is going to stop me from doing my job. Thank you, and I'll take some.
So I'm going to stop there. He does take some questions, and we'll pull some of it, but I just want to get people's reaction. That was actually 9 minutes into this entire press briefing that he held. There was a lot he said before that, but I thought this part was just very poignant. It was just to the point because he made some of those points earlier on, but I want to get some reactions.
How people can look at somebody like Pete Hegseth and think that he is a true American hero is beyond me. Because listening to Mark Kelly talk, and I don't know if you guys know much about his wife and everything she's been through too. Like, that whole family is just a bunch of strong warriors in every sense of the word. Like, I don't know why it took us so long to kind of for us to learn more about him, but like what he's done for his country is incredible. And the fact that people are still respecting people like Hegseth or Kash Patel over him is just beyond me.
I agree. I think we haven't heard. He doesn't bolster himself. He doesn't have this huge ego that he has to be out there, talking about all of his accomplishments. That's the difference. August.
I was just going to say he is a twin, so there it's two of them. So that atom was split, and even the brother has accomplishments as well. So, but with Gabby, it was very sad to watch her suffer, and I'm proud of her because she has overcome that gunshot wound and really has pushed forward. And how dare Trump even tried to make funny jokes about her. The man has no moral compass.
No, we know he's always jealous of people who do have accomplishments, right?
It was because of Kelly why we got through his first term, and people are still trying to figure out why we voted for a second term. So
no, it was the other Kelly. There's two. You have Mark Kelly.
Well, I'm talking about the Kelly that was working with Donald Trump in the first administration.
Right. It wasn't this Kelly.
What Kelly was it then?
It wasn't Mark. I'm trying to think of his first name. I only know
that wasn't him that we just saw talking. That was his twin, you said?
No, General Kelly. There were two Kellys. Kelly, you have Mark Kelly, but then there was General Kelly. They're two different guys.
Oh, okay. Well, General Kelly, I don't know what we'd have did without him still.
And I agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Well, it's good to see someone with character talking to us. I've always admired him and his wife, and he's not going to let down, and that's good to see. So I say onward with him.
Absolutely. Anybody else want to play a little bit more of this? This is where he started taking some questions.
My remarks. I was notified of a potential court-martial through a tweet by the Secretary of Defense. I mean, think about that for a second. How ludicrous is that? That's the only notification that we have received to date. And I think that says a lot about who Pete Hegseth is and what he cares about. He doesn't care about the law. He doesn't care about process. He doesn't care about accountability. He cares about views on his Twitter account. And that's a big problem. I mean, I want to ask you guys this question. Have you ever in the history of our country seen a less qualified or less professional Secretary of Defense? I cannot think of one.
Senator Kelly, the Cambridge News. Are you concerned about threats on your life? Have you stepped up your personal security and towards the security of your wife?
Hey, I'm no stranger. You know, Gabby and I are no stranger to political violence. We get a lot of threats already. She continues to get threats. She gets threats on her life more so today because what Donald Trump said about me 10 days ago, that I should be hanged, that I should be executed. The threats on us have obviously gone up. I'm not going to get into details about my personal security. We take these threats very seriously. And I take, you know, the threats from this president seriously. How many times in our country's history have you heard a president of the United States say that members of the Senate and the House should be hanged and executed? I mean, I can't think of one. Those words carry a lot of weight. The number of threatening calls that we get into our office have skyrocketed. And they were very graphic. I mean, some of them were put, not from my office, but another member put them out there for people to hear. Ones we get are worse than that. So I take this seriously, but again, you know, that's why he does these things, because he thinks he can shut me up. I have First Amendment rights. I'm a United States Senator. I am doing my job. I'm on the Armed Services and the Intelligence Committee. He ain't gonna shut me up. I mean, he intimidates other people. I'm not intimidated by Donald Trump or Pete Hegseth or anybody else.
Stop there. I recommend watching this entire press briefing. He gives me hope. So the question is, do you see him as an emerging leader in the Democratic Party?
I don't know, but I was giving him snaps because that last part, that was savage. I'm not afraid of them. You know he wanted to say, I'm not afraid of those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And why are we scared of him? He's nobody. Donald Trump emerged from nothing, just a bully. He's been a bully the whole time, and he continues to bully. He doesn't know how to manage money, so he continues to try to grift people with money. Pete Hegseth, the only reason he is Department of Defense or War, whatever you want to call it, is because he'll listen to Donald, because he listens to Donald, and neither one of them know what they're doing. And then we got what's his name in the FBI. It's a whole clown show. That's what I can't believe. All of it's a clown show. I think I'm dreaming. I do. I think I'm dreaming. I have dreams. I mean, I have nightmares, and
I was going to say, this isn't a dream. This is a nightmare.
Yeah, I can't believe this is his cabinet. I can't believe he in office.
Yeah.
I'm glad too that Senator Kelly and his wife are taking these threats seriously, because I mean, look at what happened to, was it the Speaker of the House in Minnesota? And like, everybody's a target at this point. You can't not take these things seriously.
What he said about Ilhan today.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is a man that didn't represent.
That was some racist stuff if ever I've seen it. Like, I dare anyone to deny that was at the very least prejudiced.
Oh yeah, I would 100% agree. It was awful.
It was.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was full on racism. No prejudice. No, we don't have to sugarcoat it. It was full on racism. Go back to the country you came from. We don't want them here. Just stop. We just need to call it what it is. It's a racist regime that we have in power right now.
She should be suing him for defamation. You know, saying that she married her brother, and you know, and look at her, no good. And I'm like, could you hear this man? And then he fell asleep.
Well, I like the response she gave back to that. Unfortunately, I can't remember it, but she has such class. You know, she did it in a way, she didn't show any bitterness. She just told him what she thought about it. And I wish I could remember, but she had a really good response back to that. I was quite impressed.
For me, I think the most disgusting, bad enough he says that because we have all become so numb to it, but everyone in there started clapping. What the hell are you clapping for? that just shows us you want this. That was nothing to clap about.
I told somebody, I noticed that when I'm in the grocery store now and, certain women and, certain color that, they just walk all in front of you and don't say, excuse me, or, reach over you. And I'm like, and I just look at them.
As
Because I
far
know
as
I'm crazy, huh?
no, I hear you. I know what you mean.
I know
As
I'm
for-
crazy. I know.
You're not crazy. I was gonna say with regard to Mark Kelly and him being an emerging leader, I don't know enough about him to say, but what I will say is that I would like to see more Democrats in office speak out against Donald Trump with that kind of candor instead of kowtowing to him and parsing their words because they're afraid of offending him or getting backlash from him. We need more people standing up against him.
I'm going to push back on that just a little bit because we heard him say all the threats they're getting, right? So I think a lot of it is they do get these threats. And so how would, I try to put myself in their shoes.
I get that. And it's easy for me to say not being in office, but like if you can't do your job, then resign. Like this is not the time to
I think it's because they feel like they don't have the support of the Supreme Court. That even if it went to court, it wouldn't go anywhere. I don't know how. I mean, I do. I still say that Epstein got something to do with the Supreme Court because I just think personally that all of them involved in it.
We have a lot of compromised people. And yeah, Keisha, I agree. They should do their jobs. I think a lot of them are afraid of the threats. And I think those are real. We have some really unhinged people out there. A lot of unhinged people that support this. I was reading today, we're going to talk about this in a minute because Senator Kelly goes into the fact that they are investigating these boat strikes, right? That's a lot that's been in the news lately. And I was looking at a thread today that people in the comments were saying, good, that's what we need to be doing. We need to just blow those MFers out of the water. It was just comment after comment. I'm like, where am I? What country do I live in that people think this is okay?
A country where one of the most popular games or first-person shooter games, people like pretending that they're fighters.
Yeah,
but there's no facts. I'm sorry, Keisha. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I mean, but we have no facts. Let's just go back to brass tabs. They have not proven that they are drug boats. They could be just farmers. They could be people vacationing, but they don't want to leave back any evidence so we can look into it. They just go in roughshod like cowboys. How do we know that these are drug runners?
Right.
Maybe if they did 50 of them, maybe 2 out of the 50 were drug runners. Those odds are not nice odds.
Wasn't it Rand Paul who was saying like it was? Wasn't it Rand Paul who was saying it was?
Yes. Let me, Katie, hold that point. That's the next clip. So great segues into this. We have a Republican who is standing up and saying, wait, this isn't right.
We spoke a short time ago with Republican Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky, who chairs the Senate Homeland Security Committee and also serves on the Foreign Relations Committee. Tried to pursue some of these questions we discussed with Wendy. Asked him about the legality of the Pentagon's actions in Venezuela and whether he thinks they amount to a prelude to war.
I'm very fearful that these boat strikes and the positioning of our ships and our troops right off the coast of Venezuela is a prelude to war. I think that there is a real question of legality. under the military justice, under the code of military justice, it says that when someone has been incapacitated or shipwrecked, or they're clinging to the wreckage of a boat, that they're out of combat and they're no longer subject to be killed. And so there is a real question, who gave the order and why would they give the order to kill someone who is out of combat? Now, over the weekend, the Secretary of Defense was saying, well, I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about a second attack. But today, when he was interviewed, he said, well, yes, I left the room for a while. The second attack occurred, and I learned about it when he came back. But why was he telling us this weekend he didn't know anything about a second attack and he had never authorized it? But now that it's come to light, he says, oh, I didn't do it. Somebody else did it. The admiral did it. So they're all pinning blame on the military guy. But I'm one who tends to give a lot of leeway to the military guy and not so much leeway to the person who gave him the orders. These orders came from the Secretary of Defense, and ultimately he's going to have to accept responsibility. But to my mind, there's a question about whether or not killing people in the first place, who you have no proof that they're armed, you have presented no proof that they're carrying drugs, and that you simply kill them. I think that's outrageous. But now, not only do we kill them, our government is following up by killing them when they're wounded and stranded and of no threat whatsoever, which is, according to our own laws, illegal.
Well,
Yes. Yes. And that's a Republican standing up and saying this is wrong.
The other thing about the strikes is there's got to be some part of it, and with people's reaction, that has to do with racism. It's a third world country. They're brown people. I don't think that there would be the same reaction if these were people from Denmark or Germany
or Norway.
Yeah. So they picked an easy target for some people to cheer for.
Yeah. I want to continue playing this because you heard already they're pointing the fingers and blaming someone else, right? So I want to continue just this last little piece.
You've illustrated that carefully, Senator. It's Admiral Frank Bradley we're talking about. He's been named by the administration. I don't know if you think it's appropriate that his name is made public before he testifies before the Armed Services Committee on Thursday. But I guess the question now is raised, where does the buck stop? Is it with the Admiral, the Defense Secretary, or the Commander-in-Chief?
I think it's, to me, amazing that anybody in the public accepts this. The idea that we would make an accusation. We will simply accuse someone, and then they are found guilty without any kind of process. We asked the Coast Guard for specific statistics off the coast of Venezuela, and they said of boats that have been interceded off of the coast before we came up with this blow them to smithereens policy, we used to interdict them. And of the boats that we interdicted off the coast of Venezuela, about 1 in 4, 21% to be exact, were not carrying drugs. That would mean if you're going to blow up all of the boats off the coast that look like drug boats or that you're suspicious for, 21% of the time you'd be killing innocent people. So I think it's outrageous that anybody would countenance this kind of activity. And I'm surprised that I seem to be one of the few people who seem to be alarmed at this. But I think it's unconscionable. It's wrong on any level to kill people with no proof that they are engaged in combat at all with your country.
Yeah. So
This also makes me think about. Oh, sorry, you had a question.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
This also makes me think about how we treat people in prison. And we know that there are a lot of people who go through the justice system who are not guilty of the crimes that they've been accused of. And we just kind of lock them up, throw away the key, and treat them like they're disposable people. And it's the same kind of callousness with these people that are being killed on the boats. Like, people are not really thinking about them as human beings. And that is a problem. They're dehumanizing them. And we do it consistently.
Right. And they do it under the, the quote unquote war umbrella. And that's, that's what we've been dealing with. This is Let me show, this is on the same topic, but of course, you know, we love our Rachel Maddow, and she has a few things to say about this, which I think is spot on, because who's going to get caught in the crossfire of all this, right? You have Trump. Trump always has the people around him do all the dirty work. And then somehow he slides by with everything. So
Can I
let's
just
talk
say
about
this before you play that?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, now they're pointing fingers. How much you want to bet that Admiral from the South End, the one that retired early, is going to be blamed for all of this? Not the Admiral that's going to go to court soon, but the Admiral that, you know, put in his papers and said, the Black Admiral.
I was going to say it was a black man.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he'll be blamed.
He's going to be the one blamed, because that's why he said he had enough, because he could not prove that those people were drug runners. He realized that. And he's like, no, this is BS. And he's a 4-star admiral. Excuse me. He's a 4-star admiral. He now, because he retired, he's taken a 3-star. Because once you know, if you don't do out your entire term, you go down in rank.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to bring forward. This is ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Another DEI hire, huh?
So let's hear a little bit about
a story that I
Rachel.
more desperately wanted to talk to you about, since this Post story just blew this unbelievable fact out into public view, and I wonder your thoughts on all of it.
I am disturbed by this, I think, as everybody is. I was taking a step back from this, Nicole. I don't understand why we're going to war with Venezuela. And I'm not sure the administration has even bothered to try to come up with anything even internally coherent in terms of explaining why Trump has proclaimed that we are at war with Venezuela. My sense is that they wanted to use the Alien Enemies Act to illegally arrest and deport people from this country that actually weren't subject to deportation. They decided the Alien Enemies Act was a way to do that. They then realized the Alien Enemies Act required a war, so then they declared a war. Then they needed a reason for the war, so then they reverse engineered some sort of reason for the war. Mm-hmm. Ostensibly right now, the reason for the war is to stop drug trafficking into the United States. Today, the man convicted of the largest volume of drug trafficking in the history of the United States was just freed from prison by Donald Trump, the former president of Honduras. So clearly, if that's the area of focus, that isn't the justification for this war. So what are we doing there in the first place? Why are we blowing out of the water and killing people in boats with outboard motors, some of which aren't even pointed towards the United States, let alone verified to have drugs on them, let alone even if they were coming to the United States and they had the capacity to reach the United States and they were filled with drugs, why isn't it possible to just interdict them the way that we do with the Coast Guard, where you go and take the drugs and then put those people on trial and investigate and then follow the drugs to their source of origin and then take care of it there? Like, none of this makes any sense. It feels like they bumbled themselves into a profoundly incoherent and illegal situation in which they decided the one true benefit they were getting out of all of it is that they were getting video game style visuals to play on Fox News and put on TikTok. And they liked that. So now they have put this admiral, the commander of Southern Command, every senior officer in that command, and all of the servicemen and women who serve there in the position of potentially being held liable for murder or war crimes until the statute of limitations on those matters runs. And I don't even know what it would be. And by backing and bumbling and symbolically rambling themselves into this mess, I'm less worried about the fate of the bad guys who have gotten us here than I am about the good people who've been put in the way of this mess. And from Admiral Bradley on down, And it's a catastrophe. I think Pete Hegseth, it's impossible to imagine that he survives this as Secretary of Defense. I think he must resign, and I think Republicans will ask for that ultimately once they investigate this. But this is a disaster for this generation of people serving in the United States military. And that is a tragedy more than a farce.
Yes, yes, and yes.
Yeah.
A lot to unpack there. She said a lot.
Well, why did they put Hegseth there? They knew that he was not going to be the right person. No one could stand up to that, and I can never forgive that. He's not qualified, and look at what's happened. And boy, if they try to put this off on someone in the military, I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore.
They're certainly going to try.
I know.
With their track record, like they're certainly going to try to put this on anybody but them. And it's just, I can't believe, and it's not just with Hegseth, like when you're talking about, I mean, they're all unqualified, but between Hegseth and RFK Jr., just watching how they've like destroyed so much in less than a year is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is like, chances are this whole thing is about getting the Venezuelan oil resources. So once again, it comes back down to money and helping enrich people who already fucking have enough money. Sick of it.
And Ukraine minerals.
Yeah.
He could end that war in one day.
You're talking about all the money. Think about how much these people with just endless money, if they even helped a little bit, how much better off, not just the country, but the world would be. And the fact that they're all just so greedy, sitting up there in their ivory towers, is just disgusting.
I just quickly want to point out Jazzy's note indicating when she first saw the pictures of lynching with people just standing around smiling and laughing, it correlates to they stood around and laughed when they was bombing these boats. When Pete says that I just only saw the first half and I walked out. That's BS. He was high-fiving. He was there from the beginning to the end. You can't sell it on September 2nd, indicating that, oh yes, we got them. It was all good. It was perfect. And now you want to backpedal and say, oh, well, I was only there and we were in a fog war. What the hell is that? Don't play with word. That's like that damn word that, what's her name?
Hillary?
No, the first secretary that was there. I can't even think of it. I'm just so annoyed. And I think you guys can hear it in my voice because he should be gone right now. I don't even know why we're sitting here. We don't have to investigate this, but they're only doing that just to make sure that coverage is there.
He said,
however, he needs to go and impeach the other ones. They all, because they're running us into the ground. I'm sorry, Kim, I'm rambling, but trust me, I'm trying to make a point. Enough is enough. How much more? How much more? Signalgate, he should have been gone.
Absolutely. And that's what Kelly said. That's what Senator Kelly said. So 3 things that stood out. One, she said, can't be about drugs because they just released. He just pardoned someone, right?
They got 45 years.
Yeah. It's going to be the military that is going to suffer because of this. It won't be them. And there was one more thing she said that I thought was really, really important. But it is August. I hear you. I feel it too. And sometimes we just have to get our emotions out and our feelings out because this is not who we, hate to say it's not who we are as Americans.
It is.
This is not normal.
And they're walking a fine line because our military men and women, they stand on that line. They're for that line. They're for this country. And he's playing themselves. He is playing them and they know it and they don't like it. And they will stand on that line for this country.
I finally remembered the other point. Thank you. It's the idea that it looks like some kind of video game, right? Some kind of drama that pulls people in. This whole administration has been like some kind of awful reality game show. And so this is exactly what they're doing. And unfortunately, people are dying because, and it is appalling. It makes you ill, completely makes you ill.
I was talking to some military friends of mine this weekend, and I was saying, would they obey illegal commands? And I kept pressing the issue, and finally, one of another military person said, "Shh," that I had to be quiet.
I had the same conversation with my cousin on Thanksgiving. He's a veteran. He was in the National Guard. He did 2 tours in Iraq and a tour in Afghanistan. And something he said was he was, I don't remember exactly what his rank was, but he was a lower rank in the Guard. And he said, he's like, I'm sure when we were overseas that we did some that were illegal, but it wasn't our job as the lower levels to know what orders were and weren't illegal.
It is very much their job.
Yeah.
Like, I know as a civilian, if somebody tells me to go and break a window and break open a cash register, I know it's illegal.
Yeah.
Use your common sense. And what does "sh" mean? Like what is that?
Yeah, they wouldn't answer. They wouldn't answer at all.
Yeah, the senior officers who are giving these orders definitely know.
Oh,
what
yeah.
the law is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank you,
What's
Momo.
concerning to me is I come from a family where I have a lot of family members that are in the military, like going back to the Civil War, World War I, World War II. And it just makes me so scared. I think about, what if my family member was in this administration, being ordered by this administration? Would they know? Just like Momo says, yeah, there should know. I'm like, I don't know. I wonder if they do, because you know how all of the senators came out and had to remind them not to follow illegal orders. And I know that Jolly Good Ginger, he always reminds them and gives them a phone number to call to see, like, if they have questions to ask. So I'm just wondering if that's true, that everybody knows. Because a part of being a service member in the service is you follow. They put that in your head, drill that in your head. Follow orders. Follow orders. Don't ask what the orders are that you're being given. So I don't know. It breaks my heart that people can be, doing war crimes and they don't even know it, and they're totally going to be put under the bus because they're low on the totem pole.
This is where critical thinking comes in, and we lack this as a nation, as a people right now. If you don't have a gut feeling that somebody's telling you to do something that's not right, research it, Google it.
Yeah, but in the moment,
if you have a question, well, in a moment, I would follow my gut instinct. And if I felt like it wasn't right, I wouldn't do it. And if it turned out to be something that was in fact legal, I would have to take my consequences. But my conscience would be clear. I would never do anything that I even had a millisecond of a question about. I wouldn't do it.
Well, I hope this incident makes them think, and start questioning orders and stand up. Just don't follow. That's my hope.
Yeah.
100%, Jesse. 100%.
That's, yeah.
It is tribal mentality. We talked a little bit about that yesterday on Keisha's, so we'll have to point that one here. So this is, I think Kelly is someone to let's keep an eye on. I really respect him, what he's done and what he could do, I think, going forward to help our country. I'm glad he's a senator. I'm glad he's there. I was rooting for him. So I think he's someone to watch and support, right? So support with our dollars.
He's definitely a man of principle. He reminds me of John McCain in a lot of ways.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're missing that in a lot of our leadership, but especially this one. And I'm sorry to have to play this, but I'm going to.
Why do you blame the Biden administration?
Because they let him in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? Because they came on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here, and you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person. And there's a law passed that it's almost impossible not to get them out. You can't get them out once they come in. And they came in, and they were unvetted, they were unchecked, there were many of them, and they came in on big planes, and it was disgraceful. And if you look, you'll see there was a law passed. It makes it almost impossible not to let them in, not to certify them, so to speak, once they come in. And they came in, and they shouldn't have come in. And frankly, the whole thing was a mess. The whole Afghanistan situation was a mess. It should have never taken place. If we're going to go out, and we would have gone out because I had everybody ready to go. We were going to go out with strength and dignity and precision.
Sorry. But she was asking him, obviously, about the shooter. The DC.
He is such an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
The way he calls people stupid. There's no respect, and he takes groups of people that he's even worse in doing that. And I'm so.
I would have answered his question. I would have answered his question. No, sir, I am not a stupid person. Are you?
Yes. That photo that he's
I
flying.
said that on chat today. Yeah, I said, "Are you?" I think
that photo he's flailing around too isn't even a photo of them coming to the United States. I believe it's from Qatar. They're going to Qatar. It's from Afghanistan, but yeah, like it's just again all this false propaganda. And I was waiting for him to also say that they let people in from mental institutions, because this dumbass doesn't know the difference between asylum from your country and insane asylums, which he should be in.
Well, another great follow-up question would have been, and what law is that, sir? There's a law that was passed that makes it almost impossible, not to let them. Well, what law is that, sir? Yeah, I'd never be invited back in.
At some point, I keep thinking we're going to hear a bit of pushback at some point.
I hope
you
so.
think people would get tired of it.
Yeah.
But there's another clip I'm going to show in a minute, but I'm going to set the stage for this one. We're going to switch gears a little bit. So evidently there was a memo put out. You know where I'm going with this, Memo?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'll mute myself.
I was going to play, I have Caroline Levitt kind of reading this, but I know how much we all love to listen to Caroline Levitt. This is a memo, and I want you to see this, and then I'm going to show you what a real report on the president actually looks like. And we are going to do a little comparison. So if you have not read this, it is as part of this for immediate release from the physician of the president, from the White House, as part of President Donald J. Trump's comprehensive executive, physical, Advanced imaging was performed because men of his age group benefit from thorough evaluation, cardiovascular, and abdominal health. The purpose of this imaging is preventative, to identify issues early, confirm overall health, and ensure he maintains long-term vitality and function. President Trump's cardiovascular imaging is perfectly normal. There is no evidence of arterial narrowing, impairing blood flow, or abnormalities in the heart and major vessels. The heart chambers are normal in size. The vessel walls appear smooth and healthy. There is no sign of inflammation or clotting. Overall, his cardiovascular system shows excellent health. His abdominal imaging is also perfectly normal. All major organs appear very healthy and well. Can you take the comment down for me real quick? And well perfused, everything evaluated as functioning within normal limits with no acute or chronic concerns, blah, 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 blah.
I call BS.
His ankles are telling a whole nother story, so I don't understand.
I'm like, August, you think?
I call BS.
I'm like, okay. So I've got a few things about this before we actually see a real medical report on a president. I actually responded to some people who were talking about this online, and I said, it's interesting to me that an 80-year-old has absolutely no evidence of arterial narrowing. None. Medically speaking, so I looked this up, did some research. I'm not a doctor, so I'm going to make that clear. I am not a doctor. I have had an MRI. I do go to the doctor. Medically speaking, this would be extraordinary, like lottery level, extraordinary, because even elite athletes in their 70s and 80s show some arterial plaque, right? Some. Zero plaque at age 80 is rare. Cardiologists published cases like he's some specimen of, I don't know what, but to claim there's no plaque at all in your arteries, aorta, peripheral arteries anywhere is outside normal human physiology for that age group.
Especially at his age and all that KFC he be eating.
And those cheeseburgers.
That's it. So some guy responded. He said, "I'm actually in my 70s and I had very little to no narrowing. So I just wanted to, to say that if he doesn't smoke and doesn't drink, it could definitely be the case." But the other thing about this is you look at, so medical reports never describe things as smooth and healthy. Right? It's either there's no calcification, no luminal narrowing, no stenosis. It's all more medical jargon. No normal coronary anatomy. They never use that kind of terminology. What was it? And here's the other one. No inflammation. Really? None. No inflammation. I mean, your genes. Go ahead, August.
Yes.
Come on, that man doesn't even know what a green vegetable look like. He has never had one. His colon has never seen one. So let's just call a spade a damn spade, okay? He has never eaten a green goddamn vegetable. And if you ask him, he said, "I do eat salads. Salad is not a green goddamn vegetable."
So the memo also contains other impossible claims, right? One, that there's no.
Oh my God.
What is Linda saying? Oh yeah, he got an A on this test. So all major organs appear very healthy and well perfused. Well, imaging can't verify that. So that's none, right? That's right there. That's out. No abnormalities in any major vessels. Again, extremely unlikely, especially in someone with a documented history of cardiovascular risk factors. So the format doesn't even follow, and we'll see that in a minute, an actual White House medical document. Because number one, they don't open with for immediate release. They don't route it through the press secretary. They don't use oversized fonts. They don't use informal tone. And they don't create slogans like excellent health.
I'm surprised it didn't end and thank you for your attention to this matter.
So here's kind of the analysis of this, that it's almost certainly fabricated or heavily edited PR letter, right? Not a medical breakdown. Just, yeah, the header, the wording, the nonsensical stuff for this, obviously unique specimen. It's just, okay. So I'm sorry, I just found it hilariously. People believe this bullshit. People believe it.
Wasn't it reported he was on medication for high cholesterol during his first term?
I don't know.
I don't know, but his ankles are saying another thing.
You can't walk in a straight line. I mean, come on now.
Okay, so here, you guys is a real medical report. This one was from Obama in 2014. So a few things stand out. There's not a lot of flowery words in this. It's pretty much just straightforward about his physical exam. But notice one thing that's on here that is clearly missing from Trump's.
Vital statistics.
Idiot police. Excellent.
Vital statistics. Okay, small things like age, height, weight, body mass index, heart rate, blood pressure, all of that. Yeah, none of that. We see none of this. We have never seen any of this in Trump's. We've never seen any of his medical reports. I tried to pull one from Biden, but I was looking for his archives. Everything's archived, to their own website. So
Hell, we haven't even seen his taxes. What makes you think this physical is true? I'm done.
He doesn't even exercise. Like, we've seen all the presidents exercising. Like, Joe Biden rides a bike. Obama plays basketball. Bill Clinton was running. What the fuck? This man plays the laziest sport on earth. He plays golf, and he's
plays golf,
and he doesn't even walk on the golf course.
Walk the course
he rides in a cart
and cheats.
So here, go ahead, Maureen.
No, it has other people go pick up his golf balls and bring them back. Yeah, no, he's a piece of work.
So where is he getting this pristine cardiovascular health? How? Like, please, share your miracle tricks with us.
Maybe
I think Jazzy said it.
Dr. Oz is writing the memos.
I think Jazzy said it. Chat GPT.
Yes.
So the other things that are included, obviously, in Obama's is the physical exam itself, right? What was done? And let's see. Well, his lipid panel. I mean, none of this. We see none of this. So,
all right.
None of it.
Yeah,
because
there's something wrong with Trump, and that's why he got an MRI.
He eats McDonald's every day. I know. That's what they tell us, right?
He's had several. I'm sure that they're worried about the man having dementia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, if has anyone ever gotten an email from their doctor? You go in, you take blood tests and stuff like that. You don't get a little flowery memo
You
you
saw
know,
it.
in the mail. You get a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff that you got to like go online and like
Yeah, figure it out.
interpret. Like, what does this mean? What does that mean? There's nothing.
Yeah.
Or
I
they
think
give you a damn referral. Go see a damn, cardiologist, or you need to go
Yes.
get a pap smear, or you need a
Yeah.
referral for this, for that. But they don't give you a readout like that. That shit was just what
No.
Jazzy said. Chat GPT. All right, Caroline. We see you.
Well, and we're going to talk about this in a minute, but this is a perfect picture of this perfect specimen right here.
I mean,
So let's I hate to do this again, but
Now the bastard has narcolepsy. Okay.
so the reporters on Air Force One asked him about this. Did y'all see this one? I'm just playing. He went through a lot of different bullshit, but we're gonna just do the very end of this.
MRIs are very. Governor Walz asked you to release the MRI records. Can you tell us what it was Governor Walz, you mean the incompetent governor? So if they want to release it, it's okay with me to release it. It's perfect. What was the were they it's like my phone call where I got impeached. It's absolutely perfect. So if you want to hear about it, or if you want to release it, you want to have it released. Yes, News Nation, failing News Nation. News Nation is doing lousy, by the way. But if you want to have it released, I'll release it. Can you tell us what they were looking at? Oh, what releasing? No. What part of your body was they looking at? I have no idea. It was just an MRI. What part of the body? It wasn't the brain because I took a cognitive test and I aced it. I got a perfect mark, which you would be incapable of doing. Goodbye, everybody. You too. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, sir.
If he wasn't so rude, to those poor women, but has anybody here had an MRI?
Yes.
Anybody here? Did
And
you
you
know
know
what body
exactly-
part? Did you know what body part?
yes.
Yes, it's part of yes.
What the fuck? Like, why are you going in there if you don't know what body part they're scanning?
They know exactly
And they
where
tell
are, and
you,
they tell
just
you.
in case you don't know.
I knew exactly what body part and why.
Right, yeah.
When they ask you like 5 times, why are you here? What are we doing?
Yeah.
He must really think
It's
he's stupid.
absurd. I think May put this comment up earlier. It would be hilarious if this wasn't the president of the United States.
Well,
That's
well.
That's what makes this so disgusting.
I like this. This is the comment I like.
Yeah, me too. Take a long one, sir. Exactly. For eternity.
Just go back to your.
Someone needs to just put some garlic on the coffin. He'll never come out.
Okay, so I had the clip of press briefing Barbie, but I'm not going to play that.
Thank you.
Basically, all she did was read the letter, and I read it for you. So
it's not just her voice. Like I hate looking at her face too. She's always just so smug.
Yeah.
And
He has
it's just
like a perma stank face.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's that MAGA face. They all have it. The Mar-a-Lago face.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So let's continue on with our perfect specimen, because I want to know what his secret is.
Buenas noches.
Every single thing he has done in our foreign policy has been driven by the American people in mind. And I can go down the list. Why has he focused on mass migration? It's very simple because no country is safe if you can just walk in without us knowing who you are into your country. We've seen the destruction that that's wreaking, not just in our own country, but the impact that it's having in Europe and in many other parts of the world. You talk about trade deals and the trade situation has been involved in. People, all this reporting on it. It's very simple. The president views the last 40 years as an era of which American
blah 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 blah. Anyway, obviously, little Marco Rubio wasn't holding his attention.
Well, he was either sleeping or he was staring at Marco's package.
All right, Bubba. All right. All right.
Oh my God.
If
So
we didn't know better, we would think right there that he's drunk, like he had a hangover. But we know better, and we know his ass is definitely sleeping.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
okay. What time is it? It's already 5:30. I was going to go into it's not only his medical records and his medical situation issues or whatever that they're hiding. They're now hiding economic data, right? So I'm going to save all that for Friday. And because that's also a bit disturbing because are we going to see the data at all? We didn't see any for October.
We have to see this again.
What?
Donald Trump.
No,
No.
we're just going to look at data. So we will have to look at that. So I'm going actually to turn it over to August for August on the Move.
Absolutely. Welcome back, everyone, from their Thanksgiving. We hope that you guys had a bountiful one, but I hope you was grateful and provided gratitude to others. Let's go ahead and get started real quickly. We want to talk about what we know about controversial Venezuela drug boat. They keep talking about it. It is out there. It is one of the top stories. Please take the time and look into it. Also in the news, Democrats release Epstein Island photos. I think Kim kind of went through them. Maxwell argues against release of the grand jury transcripts. All that is in play. Democrats keep pushing because they're trying to distract us with everything plus the kitchen sink. Also in the news, what Tennessee reveals about the GOP's Trump trap in the midterms. So Tennessee, we lift our hats to you. You gave it a good try, but I need everyone to wake up. Come on, Tennessee. That Republican that you just voted in, are you sure he has your back, or is it another cosplay? Also in the news, we have Trump launches immigration crackdown in New Orleans. So now in New Orleans, he wants to back them down and bring out the troops. So New Orleans will be a population of about, they said 384,000, would be the latest city with the Democratic mayor. See, it's always the Democratic mayor he wants to punish in Trump's mass deportation push. So he's going there, Minnesota. He's looking to also push for the Somalians. We already talked about how disgusting he was about our Somalians, and then they clapped. Really? You signing off on this BS? How much more you want to show us your true colors? Also, the latest with Ukraine, talks revealed about Putin's state of mind. What does the latest rounds of diplomacy of Ukraine tells us about Russian President Vladimir Putin? Mood and his intentions. It is letting us know that he wants to push forward with war. He doesn't want a peace talk. I'm not sure if you guys know about NYCs, but we do have Elise Stefanik here. And she is pushing to be governor in the governor's race that it will be coming up. But in order for her to get some badges and get people to back her, she's now attacking Speaker Johnson leadership. Really, Stefanik? We needed you like 2 years ago. Where were you? You already showed us who you truly are. You're just mad because Trump told you to go have several seats. Also in the news, Trump administration pauses immigration applications from national about 19 countries. So keep that in mind. 19 countries have been paused. He just does what he wants to do, and we allow it. Just so you know, a triple dip in the vortex this week, and it is going to get cold. So if you do have a fireside, please put some logs on it, get that fireplace going, or break up the heat. It is about to go down. Oh, yeah. I hear you, Memo. She is trying to pull a MTG, but it's not going to work because we know who you are. Not sure if you guys know about Hong Kong orders the removal of the scaffolding mesh after the deadly blaze. Investigations continue into the fire last week at the Wong Fong Court housing complex. So this was a housing complex. I know people who wasn't aware of that, which killed at least 159 people. That was a shame. Those people didn't have to die, but they're looking into it. More to come. I will be reporting. I want to also get to Israel receive coffins that Palestinian group say contains Gaza's hostages' bodies. So the remains which Hamas and Palestinian Islamic say were found in northern Gaza with the taken to Tel Aviv for forensic tests. So we will know more about that. And I'm going to round it out today. Last but not least, Trump says he is going to pardon Democratic congressmen in his bribery case. How befitting. Why would you think that? You got to ask yourself why. Another distraction from Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Back over to you, Kim.
Thank you, August. It's nice to be able to catch up on some of the news that we don't get to see, right? Get to dive into that the fire that was that Hong Kong?
Yes.
Yeah. That looked terrible. I guess that's it for today. I'm trying to think. Okay, what's next? Yep, that's it. Anybody else have any last minute things they want to say or talk about before we head out?
Yeah, I just
I'll
want to
open
say
the floor.
all these psychics have been saying that December is going to be the time when a certain person moves to the other side. And I would like for them to stop toying with my emotions and just have it happen. So please.
Keisha, I'm right there with you.
If ever psychics are be right, now is the time.
I'm going to clap. Where's the applause, Keisha?
Yeah.
Keisha, we have 27 more days. Okay, 27 more days, Keisha. Come on. Come on. There you
Come on. Yes, just to wake up one morning. Yeah.
Get your champagne bottle ready.
Yep.
Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day.
I'd actually have a drink.
Thank you, Keisha. Anybody else before we head out?
I think
she topped that.
She topped that. Yeah, no one else can top that. I got it. All right, everybody. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for joining us. We love your comments. We love your interaction, and we so appreciate you. Don't forget to hit that little like button down there because it helps the algorithm, right, Andrea?
Yes.
So we want to help that algorithm. We are slowly growing, but any help you can give us would be greatly appreciated. And you know what? Just hang in there, and let's enjoy the holidays.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy the holidays. Be with family. Focus on what really matters. As I've said, before, I'll say it again, we're going to get through this. We are going to get through this. All right, everybody. Love you. Thanks for joining. We'll see you on Friday for the roundtable.
We the people unite.